Welcome to Rock the Life, a podcast for fans by fans. I'm Katya.
I'm Amy.
Today we have part two of a fantastic
hmm
interview that we had with
hmm
Jeff Anderson, who
hmm
is a youth pastor and concert promoter. That's what I'm going to call him
hmm
now.
Right, right. This is the culmination of our talk with him about Disciple, and it just kind of goes full circle, I feel like. So, you guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of our conversation with Jeff. And
Here he
yeah,
is.
here he is.
And Jeff, I didn't realize that you brought them out twice.
hmm
Yeah, so let's go through that. This is funny. I got another
Yeah.
funny story here. So
Love
when they
this.
get out here the first time, I know them by name now. I know them by first name, but they don't necessarily. I mean, how many fans do they meet? How many tour bus experiences do they
Um,
have?
you know what though, Jeff, they're so
But
good.
They know.
They're
They
you
know
know,
you.
so
They know.
well,
I'm
good.
sure they do.
I run into Josiah. Josiah is getting all their merch out to set up, and he's realizing live while he's pulling it off the bus that it's Oregon and Washington in October. It rains a lot around here, and they
Mm-hmm.
had
Oh,
gotten
yeah.
dumped on the night before in Washington, and he's realizing how wet their merchandise is, and he's got a bit of an
Oh,
issue. So when I walk up to him, I'm like, "Hey, Josiah, do you remember a tour bus experience?" And he's just like trying, you can see his how quick he is. He's trying to think about it. A tour bus experience in Idaho still isn't clicking yet, where someone asked how they could pray for you, and you said in English, and the light dawned. He just started laughing. So now I'm known as that guy for him. But after we laughed that off, then he realized he needed some help. And we don't have laundry on site, but I had
Mm.
another amazing volunteer who lives real close to the church. And I asked her for a favor. She grabbed all of his wet stuff, took it home, and stuck it in the dryer, dried off their merchandise. And so I think it went, as far as
Wow.
I could tell, the concert went very well. They are so down to earth. I had my teenage daughter watching their what they call the green room or their lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we have a
Mm-hmm.
separate building, and Disciple fans are so respectful and kind. I don't think we would ever have a problem. You never know. You knock on wood and stuff like that.
Right.
But um, they were so respectful to her. They treated her like an adult. They talked to her. They don't. They are exactly who. There's no different sides of Disciple. There's no Disciple on stage, Disciple off stage. There is
Mm-hmm.
just Kevin, Joey, Andrew, Josiah. Now we were missing Andrew for
Andrew.
the
Mm-hmm.
first concert. He had a family thing. I believe his wife graduated from
Nursing
something. I
school?
want to say nursing school. Yeah,
Yeah.
nursing school.
Yeah.
I remember you telling
So
me.
it was a. They did just fine though. I know their music by now pretty good. I'll never. I can't compare myself to Amy. I'll just cede and Ben too. I mean, you guys have it all. You
You're being
can
humble.
name the
You're being
tracks, name
humble.
all that stuff. But they did really good for
Mm-hmm.
covering. From a lead and a rhythm down to one guitarist. It changes
Mm-hmm.
things. But
Mm-hmm.
they were able to put Dane up there on the bass, which was able to add some rhythm behind it a little bit. Oh, I'll pause for just a second, Amy. One podcast you said that any guitarist can play bass guitar, and if I turn my camera there, oh, it's not in my office. I'm a bass guitarist, so we'll
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
chat offline about that. Uh,
Yeah.
I
That
have a.
was Pete. That was the Pete episode. He goes, "Ooh, don't
You're
let a
gonna
bass
hear
player
from
hear you say that."
no, you're totally fine. I could say anybody can podcast, but how well would the podcast be, right?
Yes. All it takes is a microphone and a computer.
Touche.
It's easy, right? No, no, not at all. No, actually, I could say being a guest on this, I'm
I
so
love it.
impressed by how you guys do what you do.
It's
It's really
so
impressive.
fun.
But so the concert went well. I got to interject one funny
Oh,
story though. So
oh,
their driver, the bus driver, sleeps
Mm.
during the whole afternoon in the concert, so
Mm-hmm.
they can drive to their at night while the band, assuming, trying to sleep, despite all the caffeinated beverages that they requested. I have on
Right?
hand for them. So
It's
they
the energy,
maybe that's for
man.
the next concert. But the bus driver is at the hotel, and I have a runner. I got all these terms down now that I had no idea what they meant. But my runner, we're loading the band up into their trailer. That's an amazing show. They have a lot of stuff, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stage thingies and big things and heavy things. I call them thingies. I don't know what these things. There's lights, there's sound, there's
Yep.
all this
Yep.
stuff
thingies.
that
It's
we're
thingies.
loading on them. My volunteers do a great job. It goes well. It doesn't really start to rain until we're done loading them up, which is perfect. And then Dane tells me, okay, Dane, there's tour manager, send your runner over, get the driver, bring him back, and it's about a 7 minutes one way. So I know about 15 minutes. Their driver will show up. So we're good. Dane gets on the bus. Everyone's on the bus. Bus is loaded. No disciple anywhere. We're all good to go. I'm about the only one left, and so I'm buttoning things up and closing the church down and putting my stuff away. And I hear the brakes on the bus release, and I'm like, oh, okay, they must be getting things ready for the driver, right? I guess. And but I pause because that's a little. I'm like scratching my head on this one. I'm really exhausted at this point. As you said,
Oh,
Katya, how did you go through this concert? Well, I did it all. I mean, it was such a roller coaster, and I was helping. I was trying to help move stuff too, so I was physically tired, mentally,
mm-hmm.
emotionally. Just after an amazing experience, I'm just out. I'm like
You're
at 0 out of
drained.
10. In fact, I've set the alarm on our building 3 times now because I keep forgetting things. So I keep going back and
Yep,
getting
yep.
stuff. And one of those passes back and forth, I hear the air brakes release. I'm like, and I know that my runner is like 2 minutes into getting the driver. There's no way.
So there's
Even if
no
you go 100
driver.
miles an hour in town, there's no way. And she's a safe driver, not going to happen. So I stop, and then the bus starts slowly moving, and it's very slowly moving slowly up to the street. It takes the most slowest, carefulest wide turn. We're just a couple driveways into
Oh
our church
God.
parking lot onto this road, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. There's no traffic, totally fine, but I can see this bright orange signal blinking, and it takes a wide, slow turn. And
He's driving.
at this point, I know that I'm using my hands, it's not helping, but to the left is town and the hotel. Everything in Dallas is to the left,
Uh-huh.
Dallas,
Uh-huh.
Oregon. To
Actually
the
that way.
right is countryside and 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes, and then the next city. There's really nothing. And the bus takes a wide right turn and starts heading right, and I'm just frozen in fear. I'm like, but I'm basically my brain's doing like, but, but,
The
but.
driver.
Yes, I can't even get it out in my head. The driver, and then Dane calls me. It shows up on caller ID, and I'm like, yes. And he's like, hey, can we slight change? Just tell the runner, don't worry. We're gonna go pick up the driver at the hotel. I'm like, okay, and we're all good. And I'm like, and I interject. I can hear voices in the background, and I can just picture Kevin driving,
Mm-hmm.
Josiah's trying to navigate, complete mayhem and madness. I hear laughter. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a complete my disaster is happening. I'd made it through the whole concert. The fire system didn't go off, the lights didn't go
The
off, the power
bus,
worked,
the
everything worked,
bus.
and the bus and the driver. And I say, but the hotel's the other direction, and don't worry, we're going to go up and take a left, and there is a way to go up and take a left. I didn't know they knew to do that. And I don't know what they were using for their navigation, but it sent them the
But
wrong direction for.
they were driving the bus. It wasn't going on its own.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah,
Kevin. It
Oh,
yeah.
was
They were
Kevin.
all on the
okay.
bus, so it had to have been
Okay.
Kevin. And
Yeah,
I learned later that Kevin does drive the bus on
yeah,
occasion. I
yeah.
was listening to them. If you're a disciple fan, and I think Amy mentioned this in Rebel Society, you get to
Mm-hmm.
chat with them once in a while. And I was in a Zoom call chatting with them, and all of a sudden Kevin said, "Oh, I got to move the bus." And he'd already said at that during that Zoom call, he and oh, I'm going to get them wrong. He and someone else were on the bus. I think Joey and he were on the bus, and Andrew
Mm-hmm.
and Josiah had opted to go home for a couple days, in a couple day break on the tour. So Kevin can drive the bus, but I didn't know all this on October, whatever date that was, October 2024.
Yeah.
But I know, yes, Katja, I knew the bus isn't going by itself. I know disciples on the bus.
Okay.
The
I was like, don't let the
driver
equipment
options
run
are
away.
it's Kevin, Josiah, or Joey, or Dane, or Josh. Only those five could be driving the bus, and I didn't know
Well,
anything.
actually, I think Kevin is the only one licensed to drive the bus, at
Mhm.
least unless that's changed. Because there was a time when I was on a Zoom call and Kevin wasn't there because he was driving, doing all of the driving. So
Oh,
getting done
okay.
with the show and then driving
Oh
to the
man,
next location. He was exhausted. He was
insane.
exhausted. So he wasn't on the Zoom call.
So that all it all they and I actually at that point it's now like 11 somethings at night, and I'm like, I bet it'll be fine, but. So I just my way home is a little bit different, but I just drove up in the direction of the hotel, and I found them parked in the parking lot of a grocery store. The runner called me because I'd called her and said, okay, hold on, they're going to pick up the driver, and she's like, really? So both of us are like, oh, and so she said she was going to wait, and so I call her and I say, hey, I see the bus at the grocery store. She's like, yeah, and I saw someone resembling disciple walking into the lobby of the hotel. So, at that point, I'm like, okay, I'll let it go. And
Yeah.
I realized they got to the next destination. They were going to California. So, but
Mhm.
so it all went great, absolutely fantastic. I think Disciple is happy. I talked to Dane, and they said they had a great time loading in, loading out. Everything went great. So I'm like, whoo, good. So I emailed their booking agency and say,
Mhm.
hey, thank you so much for all the help. I can't tell you how much this meant to me. It went absolutely fantastic. If they're interested, would love to do it again. And she got back to me and said, how about March of 2025? Like less than 5 months. I'm like,
Okay,
you got to be kidding me.
so Disciple, now poor Oregon, like the last time Disciple was here, they were here November of 2015. And then they were
Really?
here a couple of times with Winter Jam. And Winter Jam, their set's like 15 minutes. So it's like for
Oh,
somebody
this,
like
yeah,
me, it's a 3 hour drive. And yet Winter Jam has a whole bunch
15.
of artists, but really Disciple would be it. And it's like, can I drive 3 hours for a 15-minute set? I've driven 3 hours to help sell merch and a 15-hour set. So it had been really years since Disciple has been here. And Jeff's like Superman and brings them two
Yeah,
times
that's the
within
power
a
of Jeff.
6 month
Okay.
period. It was amazing. Just amazing. It was like, what? Awesome. Just
So
awesome.
my team was in place. I contacted my volunteers. They had a wonderful time. Every person that helped had a wonderful time, and I
Yeah.
learned a couple things. It's nice to have food on hand for volunteers, so we upped that up a little
Oh,
bit. And I remembered a couple names. Actually, no, she might have contacted me because I we keep saying Jeff's amazing. No, Jeff stumbles into things over and over again. But this amazing person named Amy Quinn from Roseburg contacted me and said, "Are you bringing Disciple back
she's
again? I'd
pretty
like to
awesome.
help out." Oh, she's pretty awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
So we ended up chatting on the phone,
Mhm.
and I she was just downloading. I was taking notes like crazy, all these amazing promotional ideas, and
Mhm.
uh, we were able to promote this way better. We tried really hard in October to do it, but we didn't have a lot of time, and I
Mm-mm.
didn't know what I was doing. And my team did fantastic. We have a someone on staff here who was in charge of our media and social media and all that stuff, and was doing a great job pushing things and posting things. But you can work hard, not smart, in that way. Not her
Mm.
fault, my fault, right, for not being knowing what I'm doing. Amy got us in the direction of working hard and smart. Can you do both? Let's do both at the same time this time. So we were able to promote this one, and
Mhm.
my volunteers were basically in place. I had to bring in a couple people to replace a couple people who were unavailable. But it this concert, Katya, I was actually able to fully enjoy this one. Andrew was here this time, so it was the full band, which was nice. Uh, yeah, I was able to just sit back and well, we did have a little slight snafu. I have a friend who's an electrician, so as much as I appreciate the first one, that was a big deal for them just to put like 2 hours out of the day for a band they don't listen to. So
Mhm.
I have a friend who's an electrician, and his boys and my daughter are in a band together, in a teen band, and they do classic rock, and they went to the first
Nice.
concert. So I'm like, oh, he can handle. There's people that like Disciple and love what they're doing, but don't love their music, and he's both. He
Mhm.
loves the music too. So I'm like, oh, I'll just have you help me out, and it'll be easy because we have the thing, whatever it's called, the electrical something, the
Yeah.
breaker amp, whatever it
Mercedes.
is.
Yeah.
All you have to do is plug in their cam
It's like a
links.
breaker.
I think it's all right there. I could even do it like boop, and they're in. No, something happened. I don't know where it went, but at one point he's looking at it, he's scratching his head, and I hear him say, "I think we can make this work." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna
Oh,
get. Can I have a concert without nerves?" Don't worry.
No.
Um, no, no. But he put it, and that's where I had the conversation with Josh, and I asked him, "Have you ever had a disaster?" And I'm thinking power turns off. At this point, I'm thinking how heavy is my generator and how much can it put out this much? And it's a propane gas because we live out in the country and we need it every winter. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how much does it run? I text my father-in-law, how much does that put out for power? I don't even know the terms. What's an amp? What's a breaker? What's a watt? I
Right,
don't know.
right.
But so I asked Josh, have you had a disaster? And I then understand Josh's disasters. No, we've never had a disaster because we've never had a fatality at your concert. No, Josh, not that kind of disaster. Good heavens. Uh, but they have had power go out a couple times. They have had that
Mm.
I
a
believe
generator
it.
turned off. And that'd be my worst. Like, let my hands speak.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
oh, Yeah. So, but that I just walked away and started praying, and I got to let it go. And this concert was such a wonderful experience. I
Mm-hmm.
went back I stood and then even sat a little bit in the back middle, listened to it a little more. I enjoyed this concert as much as I could. I got up for Radical and a couple others. I moved up towards the front center and was able to jump with people and have fun as much as my aging body will allow me to jump and
Oh, you're
just
young.
absolutely
Stop.
enjoyed the whole experience. And Disciple is just as laid back as they were last time. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
Andrew was here this time, which is cool. And I knew my daughter, who's a musician and can play so many guitars that I can't even name. She can play it all. She wants to talk to Andrew about one of his guitar brands because she knows it. She knows the brand, and
Oh,
she's got my, let's. I'm not going to interrupt them or get close to them or anything. And he's setting up. Let's leave him alone. And so I just walk up and I'm asking Andrew a question and bring her up with me, and then I fade on back, and Andrew talks to her for 15 minutes. He spent 15 minutes just chatting with her like a fellow musician. It was just the coolest thing. Talk about tears to your dad's eyes to see that Andrew could be like, "I got guys, I got to set up. I got stuff I got to do. We got sound check
yeah,
here." Oh
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, he's all. They are all just the most amazing people, and Kevin brought the word again,
yeah, yeah. That was pretty powerful.
and
That
we
was.
I don't have a head count, but we had more people at the second concert. We
Mm-hmm.
promoted it
Mm-hmm.
better thanks to Amy. We had more, and the interesting
You guys
part
did
was
a
we
lot of
had.
work. You guys did a lot of work. I just,
Thank
I
you.
just, I just pointed you in a direction. You
Well,
guys did
we
a lot
worked
of
hard
work.
both times, but we
Yeah,
also now
yeah,
can work smarter because Amy pointed us in the right direction. And we're a church. We brought in a couple things before, but like free concerts basically. But Disciples well known. I mean, they're in top lists and stuff like that. And now thanks to this momentum of bringing Disciple in twice, someone who helped me out at another person who showed up. I didn't know them. They didn't know me. They just wanted to help out at this last Disciple concert. And then they gave me an idea, and I reached out to another booking agency. We've got Sidewalk Prophets coming here in 2 weeks. In the end of April, we've got
yeah,
Sidewalk Prophets
yeah,
I
coming
was
to.
going to ask who's next.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, and
I,
I need to. I can't just bring in. If it was me, we'd do all the bands that you guys have mentioned, Amy, Pillar, Decipher Down. Um,
yeah.
what? Let's go fit for a king. Let's go crazy. Let's bring in
Right, right.
and actually the Letter Black is a lesser known band. Man, they are so good. They're out of Pennsylvania, a husband wife,
Okay,
and then they got a rhythm and a or bass and a drums. I'd like to. In fact, I'll reach out to them and see if they ever come
okay,
West Coast. But
okay.
I reached out to the Sidewalk Prophets to their booking agency, thinking, I mean, they're well known. They're played on K Love. I know there's some of their songs. Well, I guess there's an adage you miss 100% of the questions you don't ask, or 100% of
Yep,
the shots you
yep,
don't take. I messed
yep.
that up. I think it was Wayne
If you don't
Gretzky or
ask, it's
someone.
always no.
Yep, exactly. So reached out to Sadok Profits, and within 24 hours, they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But wait a second.
You're
How,
like, oh, hold on.
here's how big do you know how big our sanctuary is?" Like, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we've got Sadok Prophets doing an acoustic set. They can't bring the whole
Mm-hmm.
band. One can't make it, but they're bringing their lead singer Dave and their musician who plays guitar and keyboards. His name I forgot, but you can dub. You're a miracle worker, right, Amy? You can dub in my voice with the things I forget
Right.
to
Yeah.
say. But yeah, we've got, and then
Oh,
what's next after that, Katya? I don't know. What the sky's the limit. I reached out to a couple others and I
wow.
haven't heard back from a couple others. I won't say names.
Okay.
That's totally
Yeah,
fine. I
yeah.
understand if they're not touring or not coming to the West Coast and I'm being upfront with the booking agencies. Hey, we've had some, but here's my resume. We've hosted Disciple twice. We're bringing in
Mm-hmm.
Sidewalk Prophets. Our venue is about 500 people. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think? And if cricket is the answer,
Fantastic.
totally fine. I
Yeah.
get it. We can't do concerts once a month too. We're a church first, and then but we want to do outreach. We want to bring people in. We want to spread the word. And uh, Disciple to me is they're traveling missionaries using music to reach people. And that's what they use their
Mm-hmm.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
That's what going back to what I said a little bit ago. I didn't want to listen to bands that I wasn't sure. I got to dig in, and no offense to them, they're doing what God's called them to do, and they're using their talents too. I personally just want to hear in my face
Mm-hmm.
Jesus lyrics, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I just know by disciple whatever. I think that's from this might sting a little. I think I just know
Mm.
the words sound great, and I read this to my mom. I just know Jesus is the way. I know Jesus is the truth. I know Jesus is the life. I know Jesus is my God. Now let's hear it how disciple does it, and then I lost my mom.
Yeah.
um, uh, but
Right.
she would
Right.
jump into the camp that I don't know if I would buy their music, but I like what they're doing, and
I
that's
like
the
Yeah.
what they're
biggest
doing.
Yeah.
compliment that Kevin said they
Yeah.
could get, and that But then there's like Amy and I who be like, and we need to get you out here somehow, Katya, when we bring Disciple back.
I'm
Oh,
ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
what's next? How about Disciple 2026? I've already got them booked.
I'm
So
in.
we're
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, so stoked. I want to go back a quick second because Jeff, your daughter plays guitar. I don't know if he's still doing it. I have not seen anything recently on this, but years ago after Attack came out, Andrew, we had my son Kian taking like Zoom guitar lessons with Andrew. It was
no way.
amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. He was so great, and he was so great with Kian, and I think he learned Attack and he learned Erase. He's kind of put the guitar down for now, but he was a teenager and learning, and it was phenomenal. It was a great experience. It was really cool, and not cheap, but affordable. Not like you can sometimes go to the record store and or the music store and get a block of lessons. I think it was reasonable. It
Oh,
was
that's
So,
cool.
definitely.
Aim, I do have a question for you.
Hmm.
I know at one point in the concert you got up from the merch table for a
Hmm.
song. Which song was that?
I actually was able to because some of the other girls there that were helping with merch really appreciated what Disciples doing, but didn't mind if they missed the show. So
Okay.
they let me, I was up front like the whole time. The whole time.
Okay.
Yeah. So the answer to your question is yes, all of
All of
them.
them. And
Okay.
I
I don't know.
checked on that. I checked on that, Katya. When Amy said she wanted to help out at the merch table, I was like, well, let me double check, but I'm actually pretty sure you'll be okay. During the concert, there won't be much business, and we'll have it covered. We'll have people out
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
there, and
Okay.
it's a beautiful team. There's a couple people that
Mm-hmm.
wanted,
Mm-hmm.
of the four merch people, one of them wanted to run around and take pictures. They Disciple lets us take our own pictures and video, so we're
Mm-hmm.
practicing shooting a concert. We don't do stuff like that all the time, so we got to
Mm-hmm.
take shots
Wow.
and video, and then we shared everything that we thought was good with them, of course, too, so they can use it. But I
Mm-hmm.
knew that that lady and Bethany and Amy, Bethany, Amy would both be able to be free to wander around,
Yeah,
do what you want. So I think I was hoping Amy would get to hear the whole concert and then
I did
get back out and help people because I think the biggest sales are probably after the
after
concert
the show.
and
Mm-hmm.
close to before. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It was
wonderful.
it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
so I would say the second one was I got to enjoy it, Katya. I really got to enjoy it. I got to just
Okay.
sit back and listen to the music and look at their energy, watch their hands a little bit. As a guitarist, I'm trying to watch. Dane was up there playing bass this time, so I'm watching Dane play the bass a little bit, and then of course I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
watch. I love lead, but I'm not a lead guitarist.
I
But
feel you.
rhythm
I feel
guitar
you. Okay.
if if I had a if I what would Jeff do if Jeff could do anything right now I'm actually doing it so I wouldn't change it but if I was to go back and change things I would be a rhythm or bass guitarist in a Christian heavy metal band and so
I
I'm
Awesome.
think
watching
that's what you're going to be doing.
well I do play bass in a band we're not traveling or anything we just stay local and things but
Just a
watching
matter of
Josiah's
time.
hands what he does yeah oh
Yeah.
thank you gotcha
I I really felt that especially in October. Now, no, October was great. I mean, it was a really good show, and you wouldn't have ever known. I mean, if you'd not seen Disciple before, you wouldn't have ever known that anything was missing. However, when Andrew was back, it just added this additional layer and additional amount of energy. And the guys, and one of the funny things that Disciple has kind of going right now is, the guys have this little bit of a competition. Andrew is apparently the rock, paper, scissors champion. And I remember seeing them on stage. And I always thought, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're doing it for the solo, for whatever song that was. I was kind of like, oh, wouldn't that be so funny if the person who won got to play that solo? I don't know if it's like that or not, but they do. Andrew and Josiah play rock, paper, scissors on stage just in the middle of a song. It's like hands are going crazy, playing guitar, and then all of a sudden they both get up on
He
this
is
little
back.
step, this speaker, and then they both go
yes
boom, and then they go back and play. And it was like, I was like, what was that? That was so funny. But they really are the funniest guys. I mean, literally, there's, like Jeff said, there's no ego, and they're hysterical. They're so funny. I can just hear Kevin's laugh with that story that you told in English.
oh yeah
I can hear him, that that just full on cackle of just, oh my gosh, just I cannot speak more highly of another band that really care about people, and just amazing. I'm really hopeful. Here's my plug. I'm really hopeful that we can have Kevin on the show and share
Amen.
in some kind of his fan experience. I have one in mind that he shared publicly, which was so great, but he gets to choose that when it's time. So just amazing group of guys, incredible.
They are. They after the show, they at least for this show, I think for every show, but certainly at the two shows we've put on so far, uh, they sit in
Hmm.
a line right next to the merch table,
Hmm.
and they wait till that line's gone. They don't have like, okay, got to go and leave someone. The last person in line is going to spend time with Disciple, and they talk to them, they listen to them. I'm not the only one. I've got my story of how radically changed my life, but
Hmm.
really everybody there has a story with Disciple, and they listen to
Oh,
each one. I got a
Yep.
picture. I'll send you this picture, Amy. I've got this picture. I took a picture of them. Josiah, being as brilliant as he is, I don't know how he saw it because they're all facing this way, and I'm over like at the side, just taking the shot of them and some people, not to use, just to show, just for us, just to show our event to ourselves.
Right. Right.
And Josiah's ears or his sixth sense somehow sees me, turns over and makes a clown face at the
Right.
camera. But you can see the other guys are like, and they're just listening, so they're like on hanging on every word of what this person is saying to them, and they're rock stars. They play overseas, they've been Grammy nominated, they just put on
Hmm.
a huge show. I know how I felt after the first concert. They've got to be have a adrenaline dump after a show like that. I mean,
Hmm.
I played smaller. We played, I think the biggest crowd I played in front of is 100 people, and it's a rush to have that. And
Hmm.
then when you're
Hmm.
done, you're just like, kind of jittery and all that. And
Hmm.
they spend all that time just they truly love people. They love their fans. They're not, and they've been doing this. I mean, this iteration of
Decades.
Disciples about 12 years in. Kevin's doing
Hmm.
this since the mid 90s.
Hmm.
Where's his ego? Where's his like I'm the
Yeah.
rock star
Mm-mm.
here?
Mm-mm.
No, you wouldn't know that Kevin. You actually, unless you didn't, if you didn't know them before they sing, you wouldn't know that Kevin. Who's the lead singer? You wouldn't know. Kevin doesn't act like that at all. They're
Mm-mm.
all just
Mm-hmm.
so cool. The way they treated all of my volunteers and my daughter, who was talking to them and all that. And when they showed up in October, Kevin stayed on the bus for a sec to catch the end of the Atlanta Hawks football game. And I think, if I
Falcons.
remember, I think oh, sorry, did I say Hawks? Atlanta
Yeah.
Falcons. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not wrong sport.
Hawks are
Um,
basketball.
yeah, fix all my problems. And I think, if I remember, I think my Seahawks had beaten them. Were beating them pretty bad. And
Oh
so,
no.
my first, I mean, I've met Kevin on the tour bus experience, but that was just me,
Yeah.
getting him to laugh by mistake, Josiah getting him to laugh. Um, so I'm meeting them, and I'm not going to be the Uber fan. I'm going to be a professional. I'm there. I'm basically our the top of our venues liaison for them, and said, "Hey, Kevin, sorry about the game," because I was watching the score on my phone, and he's just down to earth. He's
Yeah.
so easygoing. Yeah, he was sad about the loss, but he was fine. He gave me a fist bump, and on he
Yeah.
went. And
Do you
yeah.
know when I helped do merch for them at Winter Jam a few years ago? It goes pretty late, but they did the same thing. They had the line, and my favorite thing is once merch kind of winds down, I like to take pictures of them with the fans. That way all the fans can get in the picture and you don't have one person left out.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they actually had security. It went so late because their line was so long that security had to come and turn people away from the line because it was
Oh,
like 11. We didn't leave that venue until it was like 11:35, and they were like, you guys, we got to shut down. And they had to tell Disciple, we've got to close up. And they stopped letting people get in the line. They let them finish the line, but they wouldn't let any more people get in the line. And they sat there. I mean, it was a couple of hours that they made sure everybody got their things signed. They listened, and just like you said, they heard the
so
stories, all the different
Disciple
things.
didn't want the security had to shut Disciple down.
Yeah. 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 It was remarkable. It was like, wow. I mean, and you got to figure
Yes.
they've had a full day. They've had load in, load out. They've put on their show, and they had their bus experience, and it was Joey's wife's birthday. They'd just been married maybe a year. And so, they were getting ready to prepare for that, and they just stayed.
Wow.
Not like, I'm sorry, guys, we gotta go. They stayed.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
Jeff, I am so looking forward to our next conversations too. I see more of these concerts in your future. I see more Disciple. How about even you opening for Disciple?
Oh dear.
There's just some
Maybe.
toes
No,
to
I
get
think
wet.
no, this is like the story. I mean, just hearing how, like, from your mom, like, thanks to your mom, thanks to your wife, and now thanks to your daughter. Like, you also have such amazing, beautiful people in your life too.
I'm so
So
blessed.
this
I really
is,
am. Yes.
Yep.
And then the
Awesome.
friends
I
that I met
think
too, and the
this
people
is
I've met
just going to get
from the
bigger.
disciple thing. Oh, yes, it will. It will get bigger because the people that I've met too.
Yeah.
I met both of you now. I met Amy in
Yeah,
person,
we're all on
and
your journey with you. We're all going to help you.
Right.
We're going to, like, we're in this with you. This is,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. Now I can keep telling people, hey, what are you listening to? I have a podcast you guys need to listen to. You need to pick this up.
That's so awesome.
oh,
Well,
that
thank you.
totally warms my
And Jeff
heart.
told me he listens
Oh,
when he's running. And, so really I handed him a sticker in March. And as of like Tuesday, he only had like 10 episodes left. Maybe, yeah. And I was like, holy cow, that's fast. We're only putting him out one a week.
Well,
oh,
it's a
Jeff,
I am
thank
training for
you.
a half marathon, so I have a little time, and they're
Right.
perfect length. They just go seamlessly into the next one. And the cool part is, while I'm running and I'm listening, and I've been laughing and stuff. And in fact, I cried at when you told your disciple story, Amy. That brought tears to my eyes because I know that Oregon story, and
Yeah.
I know what your family went through. And so what you went through, and then what disciple meant to you when you got up to that concert. I was just crying tears of joy at that point for what God was doing in you. But
It was
oh, and I
amazing.
lost my train of thought. I didn't rabbit trail this whole time until the very end. Where was I
I
going?
do
Oh,
that all the
uh,
time.
you do the the rabbit trails. But the length of your podcast goes. Oh, that's what it was. While I'm listening to the podcast and enjoying it, and I think I just caught. I think the last one I caught was a story about. It was some Uber fan of. I'm buying times. I came up with a name here. New Jersey.
Was it Bon
Bon
Jovi?
Jovi. Bon
Bon
Jovi.
Yeah,
Bon
it
Jovi.
was
Jovi.
Brigetta.
Yeah.
But you know what? I
Yeah.
always have. I don't know if it's a mental issue or if I certainly have issues, right? We all have issues, but I usually have a song in my head, and so if someone plays a song I don't like, I have to go listen. I can go. Okay, track 4, Disciple, got it. I'm back on something I like.
Yeah.
So your guys' theme song is so catchy, so fun. While I'm listening to your podcast and running, that song keeps playing in my head. It's just like
Oh,
You
it
can
is.
get the whole
Thank you,
song.
Clay. It is a
it
Yeah,
has a whole
my
great
song.
song.
husband wrote it. Yeah, it's a whole song. So you can look it up
Oh,
on
cool.
Apple or Spotify. Just look up Rock the Life, and then he put it under Wild Society. So you have to look up Rock the Life with Wild
Okay.
Society, or not with, but Rock the Life Wild Society, and it'll come up the whole song.
Well, I
Yay!
gotta listen to the whole thing
No,
because the
there's even
opening
more
bit is
fun
perfect.
verses that we love.
Yeah, I actually love the second verse more than the first.
Oh, really? Well, I got
Yeah,
the first verse.
yeah.
I almost have memorized. Something since '68.
Motor's been
Burning
running.
down
Yeah.
gates. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Motor's
motors
been
run
It's
burning
running.
down
all
gates.
it's all the music. Obviously we couldn't get all of it in, but it's all the
Right.
music that just inspired us and
Oh, it's
is the
genius. It's got
yeah.
it's my life. It's got so
Yeah.
like I counted like what in the first verse,
Uh-huh.
the part that you can hear on the podcast. I think there's
Mhm.
13 song references just like
Mhm.
that. So because I
Mhm.
have timeline running to like, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Do you know we actually Clay under you went to RTL merch and you got your hat.
mhm.
Clay actually has under Wild Society, there's two links when you get in there and you can go
Yes.
RTL or you can go Wild Society. He has a Rock the Life shirt. It's not our logo, it's his, but it has all of the bands,
Yeah.
not the names of the
Oh.
songs, but all of the bands on the back of the shirt in like a crossword puzzle.
No way.
And
That's cool.
yeah, and all of those bands that are there. So it's a really cool, the song is amazing. I keep wanting to figure out how to get it into the hands of someone who's doing pre-show music, because I feel like going to like a show and then that's a perfect song to hear
It
like
is.
at any kind of an 80s, 90s rock show.
I
I feel
wonder.
like,
Disciple has music playing while they're doing their setup. I wonder if I could. Hey Dane, or Josh, who makes that playlist?
yeah,
Can I? Here's one song for you.
let's
I wonder if I can
throw
do
that
that.
in. You
Yeah.
know, if it happens or whatever, you have to like record it. Oh, gosh, I wish I could. I want to do that for my husband so bad, and just get that song some attention.
Mixing. It's good mixing and arranging. I know. I don't know how to do that stuff, but I can hear when it's good, and it's
Yeah, his
He
is
that's
loves
good.
good.
it.
He's good.
He
He's
loves
good.
it. He absolutely loves it.
Cool. I hope the schedule works out, and I can meet him next time too. If
Yeah.
you guys could both get up here
Yeah,
and.
because he came in October, but he didn't come to this one. So,
Oh, okay.
um,
So
but
I must
yeah,
have met him then, but I'll.
I
October
think
was a bit
so.
of a
But it was,
blur.
yeah, yeah. You were really busy, and yeah,
Slightly, yeah.
But this next one, it's all the way in 20 May. I think it's May 2nd of 26. I'm
okay,
thinking about buying a bus tour experience ticket and just
do it.
my yeah, my volunteers, they're in place. They're in place. I'm not need.
Yep,
I really wasn't needed this last time. They kept shooing me away. Like, Jeff, go away. We got this. So I'm
we
like,
got this.
okay, I'll just gonna get on
That's
the bus then.
awesome.
You trained
Yep,
everyone
seriously.
well. That is, yeah.
Yep, yep. It's the way to
Oh,
do
they're
it.
amazing. I didn't do much. Then I can ask Josiah how I can pray for him, and we can roast me again.
That's so funny. I'll be
Oh,
curious what he says next time. That's funny.
Right.
yeah.
I got to ask it again. I got to do it now. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. This was
Oh,
so
thank you
fun.
so much. This was
Yeah.
such a beautiful episode. Like, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to talk to you again and see you. That will be,
Yeah.
yeah.
Truth.
Oh, thank you two so much. You're way too kind. You guys know how to do this. You're really good. No
Thank
one
we
can
you.
do what
we
you're
we
doing.
try to have fun. That's the
Oh, you do.
whole,
Well,
but
and we get to talk to each other because I miss you. So that is, yeah.
that's the truth.
Yeah, we get. That's amazing where you're living, but you gotta you gotta do a trip back here. You've been talking about it here in the other podcast. So if you could combine it with,
Yep.
if have you been to Oregon before, Katya?
I have, but not recently. It's been
Okay.
about 3-4 years. So yeah, it's time.
Yeah, and I did not see her on that one, but I'll tell you one of our adventures we took. we we took a Greyhound bus to visit a friend that had moved from the Bay Area, to Portland, and her family picked us up there. We were teenagers. What
We
on earth
wanted to
is my
see
mom
her.
thinking? What were our parents thinking? Greyhound bus. Just the two of us.
They
I
didn't
mean, it was
know.
the two of us.
That
No,
was the
no. Oh no, they
longest
knew we
trip.
were going to visit Laura, but and we got stuck. Literally, we got stuck in Lodi. So you can imagine the song. We're
Oh
singing
my
the song. We
God.
got stuck in Lodi.
It's stuck
That
in
bus
Lodi
trip took 24 hours.
4 hours.
No way. This is
24 hours.
You told a story about how you guys were teenagers and you got to LA without your parents knowing,
Yeah, we did do that.
right?
No, Oregon was full.
But now
Oregon was
Portland
full
too.
consent of the parents. Yeah, no,
Okay,
it was.
okay, okay,
This trip
okay.
was to visit a girlfriend and her parents
Mhm.
and her family,
Mhm.
and we took. I cannot believe how long that bus drive took.
I know. We got stuck in Lodi.
I'm not
It was
letting
the
my
funniest
my
thing.
kids even with friends
Don't
riding
follow.
a Greyhound bus by themselves.
Don't follow.
You two
Yeah,
are
it was.
you two are
I
so
think for
funny.
all our parents, like, well, no, they had. I don't think anyone had any idea. Our parents had never taken Greyhound buses. They had no idea.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Good heavens. Well, then you can take this part off the air if you want to, Amy. But when you guys, if we can get you out here for the next Disciple concert, Meet My Amazing
Thank you. I
Wife.
appreciate that.
Once you meet my
Oh
wife,
yeah.
you will not want to talk to me again, Jeff. Go away.
We're gonna
Oh,
be,
that's so funny.
and like your daughter too. Like she sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That.
absolutely. I'm blessed. I'm very
Awesome.
blessed. Cannot be more
Oh
Oh,
my
lucky.
that's
gosh.
great. Okay, and you two,
Yep.
I'm gonna check out because I have to get going. I have to get up for work
Okay.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks,
you
Jeff.
two. Thank you so much.
Oh, Aim, I want to again say thank you again to Jeff for being on the
Mm-hmm.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved hearing his
Yeah.
stories, talking to him,
Mhm.
and being inspired by
Mhm.
him.
Mhm. Yeah,
And I think this
absolutely.
is going to be one of many shows that we have with Jeff because I cannot wait
Mhm.
to know the other exciting things that he has lined up in the
Yeah,
other shows that
it's
he's promoting.
yeah, I can't wait to work with him again. I missed out on this most recent show, but he's let me know that he's got some more coming, in the next few months. And so I'm super excited about that. Disciple is coming back. So that will be exciting. And just all that he's going to kind of do with, you know, the space that he's been given and the bands that he'll bring in and working with them is super fun. So
Ah,
thank you again, Jeff, for sharing all of
thank you,
that
Jeff.
and, you know, just kind of making us smile. So
Making us smile and
it's
letting
a
us in.
it's a feel good episode, I feel like. Anyway, if you are not following along, make sure that you like and subscribe so that you get all of the notifications for any new episodes that we release, and that you are on our socials at Rock the Life Girl on Instagram. Also, don't forget that we are giving away a Rock the Life t-shirt. So all you need to do to qualify for that entry is to check us out on Instagram, go to our reels and share any one of our reels that we have there, countless of them, it feels like, onto your stories, and make sure that you tag Rock the Life Girl. If you don't tag me, I won't see it and I can't count the entry. There is a highlight reel for all of the entries so far. So you can just go double check and make sure that you see yours there. Is that it?
That's
Are we
it for
done?
this week. Yes.
Okay, you guys, thanks again, Jeff. Can't wait to do some more and to work with bringing some bands to Oregon with you. And don't forget, you guys, don't forget,
Rock
rock
the
the life.
life.
Oh
Bye.
my gosh, love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.